Yeah, we're coming off a nice physical performance. Our offensive line really showed up and played well, and our what we look at, and not necessarily total yards, but yards per play and yards per rush were really good. We controlled the ball pretty well and stayed in control of the game. Skylar had a great game rushing. I think 32 carries for 260 yards, and it was a great performance, one of the best ones since I've been here, and we're looking forward to more of that in the future, and want to keep that run game going like it is.
Well, what do you know about Leo, and what are you guys keying on, I guess, or what are going to be some of the big keys to the game for you guys in terms of your success?
Well, they're a very good team, and we've got film on them, and they're a lot of experience from last year going to the Final Four, and we're just hoping this is the game where we can step up and prove that we're a good 4A team, and we know they're a well-respected program right now. They've got a lot of speed and a lot of size, and we're gonna show up and play hard, and what happens happens.
When you take a look at where you guys were both last year, you win a conference title, they win a conference title, so you got a couple of conference champions in this area going head-to-head. How much does a game like this prepare you for what you want to accomplish later in the season when it comes to the playoffs?
Well, this is what, we're kind of locked into our NECC schedule, which has some 1As and 2As and things on it, but this is the non-conference game that we really wanted to get with, a really good program and 4A, and it's the type of team that you're going to play in the playoffs and right in the sectionals, and I think it's a great early season test, and just a lot of excitement before the end of the conference season rolls around. We hope to be in the race at the end of the conference season, but for now, this is kind of what we're playing for right here. Is the spotlight's on us, so we want to show up and get it done.
What did the win against West Noble mean? Because you're talking about a 5-5 team that returned 17 starters from last season. So I mean, no pushover by any means in week one, but even a tougher task perhaps in Leo this week.
Yeah, West Noble has a solid team this year. They had a lot of size and speed and athleticism, and we've always fared well against them in the first week. I think it helps us that we have very few guys going both ways and whatnot. So that kind of plays into our favor. But the fact that we were able to play a physical team and out hit them and whatnot, and then get ready for a good 4A team here, just it helps get the ball rolling.
Why you haven't played Leo in a while, if my memory serves correct? Not that I can remember. So why pick up this team for this part of the schedule for you guys?
It's just kind of luck of the draw where our non-conference game is for us. The other conferences all have week 1 and 2 open. We only have week 2 open, and it just fit right. If there was ever a conference realignment where two teams that are similar in size and stuff that would maybe be in a conference together, and we're both 4A, and always a chance of seeing each other in the playoffs at some point. And, has a nice feel to it, and it can turn into a nice rivalry. I'm real excited for it.
Offensively, Leo likes to run the football. They actually had some pretty good passing numbers as well. Leiter's a good quarterback. What do you have to do to corral this and make it? Because it kind of has the brewings of what could be an offensive shootout.
Well, that's kind of what we're hoping not to have, is an offensive shootout. We've become known for our offense a little bit around here, but our defense played well last week, and we want to step up and play better. We want it to be a physical game, and we want to definitely stop the running game, and that's a huge emphasis for us this week, is that Trevin Carr is a good player, and they have some receivers that when they get the ball can do some big things. So we just got to limit their big plays, and try to get a few 3-and-outs, and make some big plays on special teams, and hopefully get it done.
All right.